Hello. Thank you for tuning into Quote Unquote. A regular host, the Reverend Gymnastics, is away, so you get to hear it from me. I am Greg Lantern. This podcast has been done from entirely a Sony cassette player, a Casio player, a blue microphone, some 1980s headphones with the foam on them, with the assistance of audio files collected from a large library in the home and studio amongst Creative Commons licenses and sound effects from the interweb. This podcast is the audio exploration of sound bites, music, audio collage, and the joys of cereal. Everybody loves cereal. Recently, I was researching and found that there are people that do not like cereal milk. It is a fear in some people, a phobia, if you will. Whether from source of trauma or that these people take too long to eat the cereal, I don't know. In turn to get the mush in their choice of milk. And they just don't like cereal milk. To counter, there are breakfast places across the world that sell cereal milk, which is, as you guessed it, milk infused with cereal, drained, and served. And don't forget the countless cereal restaurants, cereal bars, and cereal bars. I'm forgetting a cereal. Now, we dive off the edge of the bowl into the now crispy flakes of bran and sugar, submerged in different kinds of milk. Thank you for tuning into Quote Unquote.
At first, Los Angeles police thought that the murder of a young woman last March was an isolated act of violence, but since then they've come to believe it was connected to a wide-ranging series of assaults by a killer who's become known as the Night Stalker, a killer who apparently struck again during the weekend. We have a report from Nadine Berger.
Police today continue to search for any clues in the near-fatal shooting of 29-year-old William Carnes and the rape of his girlfriend. They're apparently the latest victims of the Night Stalker, thought to be responsible now for 34 brutal attacks, 14 of them fatal. These serial killings, once confined to the near Los Angeles area, are now spread over 500 miles from San Francisco to Orange County. Just as before, the assailant entered a house in a quiet middle-class neighborhood in the pre-dawn hours on Sunday through an unlocked window and attacked the couple while they slept. Neighbors are terrified.
Guy just sleep with my hand on right by my bed and a sawed-off shotgun, which I always have.
I see. Why is that?
Because if anybody comes in my house, they're not leaving.
The killer, who attacks randomly, is described as white, 25 to 30 years old, with a predominant feature of badly stained teeth. So 5,000 flyers have been distributed to Los Angeles dentists asking for help with identification. And last week, San Francisco Mayor Dianne Feinstein announced ballistic tests have definitely linked the murder of a man there to the Night Stalker. But release of that information has outraged a Los Angeles sheriff frustrated by the difficulty of tracking a random murderer.
It places this community in jeopardy because it impedes our ability to go forward fully with the investigation.
A total of $35,000 in rewards has been offered, including today a $16 donation from this group of concerned school children. Today, the search for California's Night Stalker,
The Night Stalker,
continues, and many residents sleep with their doors and windows bolted tight, despite 100-degree temperatures. Nadine Berger, CBS.
Chapter 1. This is the story behind one of the greatest manhunts in history. Maybe you read about it, or rather what they let you read about it, probably as some minor item buried somewhere in a back page. However, what happened in that city between May 16th and May 28th of this year was so incredible that to this day the facts have been suppressed in a massive effort to save certain political careers from disaster and law enforcement officials from embarrassment. This will be the last time I will ever discuss these events with anyone. So when you have finished this bizarre account, judge for yourself its believability, and then try to tell yourself, wherever you may be, it couldn't happen here.
Do you admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not? Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil.
This trial is a joke.
The world has been fed many lies about me. I have read very few truths.
Who are you?
Just a guy. Just a guy. I have friends. That is all I care to say, really. They are open-minded people.
Do you think it's hard to talk about discipline?
It would be improper for me to comment.
Wonder why it's so hard to talk about.
On my LA convictions and on my pending case here in San Francisco because of my appeals.
Discipline is difficult to talk about. However, a great deal of our time is spent in disciplining.
That is correct. Again, it would be improper for me to comment in any regard to that question.
How do we do it? How do we channel their energies in healthy ways? How many rules do we set? How do we enforce them? These questions often make us feel confused and sometimes inadequate.
Serial killers do on a small scale what governments do on a large one. They are a product of the times, and these are bloodthirsty times. Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough, but then again, maybe they don't.
You have to want to, I guess, for yourself as well as for somebody else, don't you?
No comment.
So you feel you do pass on the tradition of your family's discipline on to the next generation?
I'll tell you what, I gave up on love and happiness a long time ago.
It is a struggle, isn't it? But don't you have to set the limits for them to be able to know what the limits are?
I don't care to explain that.
You talk about such things with you. I mean, I just wonder, do people talk about such things as discipline?
Let the quote stand for itself.
You know, I talked with so many kids who seemed to feel that there was so much anger involved in every kind of discipline situation. And I'm not hearing about a lot of real anger.
People in this day and age are brainwashed and programmed like a computer at being nothing more than puppets.
Do you think that it hurts for them to see that you're angry sometimes?
This nation, this country's founded in violence.
Last week a mother told me about how her child just pushed her to the limit.
Violent delights tend to have violent ends.
Did you ever try anything that really didn't work as far as discipline was concerned? Did you ever think of a time?
Madness is something rare in individuals, but in groups of people in ages, it is a rule.
You have to sort of plan it.
Killing is killing, whether done for duty, profit, or fun.
Mm-hmm.
Men murdered themselves into this democracy.
Mm-hmm. When you were a little boy, were you interested in cars?
Yes, I have.
I'm very concerned that our society is much more interested in information than wonder, in noise rather than silence. How do we do that? I mean, in our business, yours and mine, how do we encourage reflection? Oh my, this is a noisy world.
I can tell you a little bit about Satanism. It is undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. It is power without charity.
This is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child. to help him realize that he is unique. You've made this day a special day by just your being you.
There are different sects of Satanism.
There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are.
Well, Satanist admits to being evil. We are all evil in some form or another, are we not?
Wasn't that fun to think about a visitor? And that visitor talked in a different way from the others in the neighborhood of make-believe. Me, thee, me, thee, thee, me, thee, thee.
Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil. Evil has always existed. The perfect world most people seek shall never come to pass. And it's going to get worse.
Isn't that wonderful?
The great epochs of our life is when we gain the courage to rebaptize our evil qualities as being our best qualities.
There's some things that are very difficult to understand in a newspaper. Just like on television, there's some things that are really tough to understand, aren't there? Many things like that. Some things I don't understand. Some things are scary and sad. Sometimes I even get mad when I'm mad.
Sometimes I even get glad.
Why does a dog have to bark?
Why does an elephant die?
Why can't we play all the time in the park? Why can't my pussy cat fly?
The Pleasure Center. A luxury shopping, dining, and entertainment complex nestled in the heart of the suburban enclave of Booby Town. The Pleasure Center has anything and everything you desire over 12.5 billion square feet.
There are so many amenities, like an indoor actual-size volcano simulator, a water park, a 130 million square foot amusement park, a NASCAR raceway, an Olympic track, a field stadium, whale watching, and much more. If you get lost, please consult the directory for all the information you desire. This is the Pleasure Center Radio, providing a companion for your transcendental experience. We'll be checking in with you shortly. The Pleasure Center audio program begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CFUN in Vancouver.
There's a time for living. The time keeps on flying. Think you're loving, baby, and all you're doing is crying. Can you feel those feelings real? Look at your game, girl. Look at your game, girl. What a mad delusion, living in that confusion.
Buffalo Bill, come quick! Messy James is holding up the train!
Oh, he's gonna need some Waffalo cereal.
There goes that train!
Give him some Waffalo cereal, Bill.
Try these crunchy little critters. They taste like little waffles with maple syrup flavor.
Waffalo's is a delicious part of this nutritious breakfast.
Why do they call you Messy James anyway?
I don't know. Waffalo cereal tastes like little waffles.
Yeah.
A wandering band of members of a so-called religious cult with a leader they call Jesus has had 3 of its followers arrested in the investigation of the murder of Sharon Tate and 6 others. Those arrested are 2 women and 1 man, and the Los Angeles police said they would ask murder indictments against several others. 5 women are being held as material witnesses.